Good afternoon, welcome back. This is a personal response. Sorry about knocking the microphone, I'm crap at these. This is a personal response to Milton. I've just been speaking to in the comments, and I thought, look, it's going to be far more useful for us both to speak in videos and not in the comments. Comments are fine for relaying information in like bullet points or whatever. But once you go past a certain length of text, I feel like a lot of the clarity is actually lost. Not because the text doesn't contain the information, because your concentration level, your attention span is just not going to last through pages and pages and pages of text. It's not going to, the way that this video will grab you. And we're human beings, that's natural to us, we all do that. I'm not saying this is just you, Milton, I'm saying every single human being. We respond better and we learn quicker when we can see another human being eye to eye and we can listen to them ourselves and not go through 200 pages of text. So that brings me to my first point, right? What I wanted to talk to you about is Catholic doctrines, because you've been criticising my videos. And I'll say before I start, I appreciate your criticism on my videos, even though I refuted it a little bit and I thought I'm not going to keep refuting them in text because that's just going to go on forever and it's just half it won't get read. And like I say, your attention's not going to be there at the bottom of that conversation. But think about it. These Catholic doctrines, like Episcopalis Communio, right? How many pages is that? It's 200 pages. Because it refers to 4 or 5 other really long documents. What is it actually saying? Episcopalis Communio. What does that even mean? Right? It means the communication from the episcopal papacy, or like the church leaders, to you. So they're communicating to you, but rather than just make a video like there's tons of videos on the Vatican website, Pope makes them all the time. Rather than making a bullet point list, which he could have easily done instead of making a 200-page document, why do you think he's used a 200-page document that links to other 200-page documents? Why would he do that rather than what we're doing now, just making a video? Bearing in mind, the Pope's not stupid, he knows as well as we do, nobody's going to read 200 pages, certainly not a big block of text with barely any formatting in it. Where the background colour and the text colour is so similar, it's difficult to look at, never mind read through. And then you're hyperlinking away to other documents, they're 200 pages long and it's all boring, very wordy, it's difficult to understand, big long fragmented sentences, zero grammatical care has gone into the production of those. Ask yourself, why would he do that? When he could have just made a 10-page video or a 10-minute video with bullet points like I'm doing now. And he could have conserved your attention span throughout the video. Like, how long have we been? 3 minutes. How much information have I put into this 3 minutes just for you? And if I wrote that out in a document with no paragraph breaks, big fragmented long sentences and no formatting, maybe that would run to 200 pages if I wanted to put everything in there. But the fact is, nobody would read it. They'd claim they'd read it, especially if I was saying, I am the Pope, what I say goes, you have to obey every word or you're not a real Christian. Imagine me saying that to people and then making it a 200-page document. No one's going to read it, so guess what that's going to make them do? They're going to go, okay, I'll just assume that the Pope is telling me the truth. What I've heard and the gossip on the street and in my church is true. I will just agree with that. That's exactly why he does the 200-page document thing. He doesn't want you to understand what he's up to. He doesn't want you to understand those doctrines. He certainly doesn't want you to read through them. If he did, he'd do, like I said, a 10-page bullet point summary or a video. We know he's capable of doing these things. But the reason he's not going to do those, and the reason he doesn't want you to understand the doctrines the way that I have, because I've read through the bloody 200-page documents at length, it took me a month, is because he knows you will not agree with the things he is saying. When he's appearing in Iran, flanked on either side by caliphs from the Muslim faith, kissing a Quran and saying the Quran is just as true as the Bible, saying we're all effectively worshipping the same God, he knows you won't agree with that. So he's not going to make you that video. He's not going to give you the 10-page bullet point summary. He's going to give you 1,000-word document, which is like 5 different 200-page documents all combined together, which is going to take you a month to read through because he knows. You have a life. You don't have time to do that. Even if you do, there's no benefit for you to do that. And even if there were a benefit for you to do that and you had the time, you'd probably make a mistake somewhere along the line because your attention span is not going to go that far. His doesn't either. Do you think the Pope sits around reading 200-page documents? No. Why do you think he's got his synod of bishops doing half the work for him? They don't either. They split the work up between them, and they do a bit each, and then they conflate all the stuff together, and he just administrates it. But he knows you can't do that, I can't do that. We don't have time, expense, we don't have bishops and priests working for us to do that work for us. So we rely on this. Small, short form videos, 10-page bullet point lists, and our friends doing a little bit of study and sharing the trail of breadcrumbs with us. And that's what I'm doing in my videos. So, in conclusion, 6 minutes. How much information have I put in 6 minutes? How many pages would I have had to write if I'd have put this in a comment? What's the chance you would have read none of it if I'd put it in a comment? That's what the Pope's doing. And I'll summarise by saying this, because this is getting too long, right? How long is the Holy Bible? I've got one somewhere. Let's have a little look. Holy Bible. The Holy Bible has got 247 pages. That's the entire works of Christ while he was walking on 2 feet as a human before he was risen, and the prophecies from the Old Testament, Genesis, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Revelations are all in there, everything from start to finish, plus the Gospels, plus epistles and all the rest of it, the letters from the Romans. 247 pages. It's all formatted beautifully, written prosefully, sometimes it's poetic, sometimes it's romanticised, but it keeps your attention, and even that, there's no way anyone's going to read that in one sitting and take it in, even though it's a beautifully written, lovely book. So why does the Pope need 200 pages for Episcopalis Communio? And it refers to other documents which are 200 pages. What does he need 1,000 pages for? What is he trying to hide? That's the question I'm going to leave you on. And like I say, if you are really interested to know why I dislike the Pope so much, and why I wish the Catholic Church would kick him out and revert to worshipping Christ directly, the way that Christians do, you're going to have to go and do all that legwork. But like I say, it's going to take you a month. There's no reward in it. It's not very interesting. It's painful. Probably feel bad at the end of it. That's why he's done that. And why you will never see a video like this from the Pope explaining those down in bullet points. Why would he do that? He's put them in those big long wordy documents specifically to prevent your understanding. He doesn't want you to understand those things. But I want you to understand these things. I know you're a good guy. You know, even though you disagree with absolutely everything I ever say, I like that you disagree with me. It shows that your mind is working. It shows that your heart's working. You know, it shows you're a good Christian, really, even though you're doing all this weird pagan Roman stuff. It makes no difference to me that you do that. I don't mind. It's not like I mark you down for it. It's not like I look at you and go, oh, he's sinful because he eats the flesh of Christ. I don't believe that you're eating the flesh of Christ when you do that. You're not drinking the blood of Christ when you do that. It's just bread and wine. You're just involving yourself in some kooky, magical pagan ritual that is nothing to do with Christianity. So I think it's weird. When you pray to saints, I think there's a danger to that. You're praying to the dead, which is expressly commanded not to do. Jesus says, don't do that. Pray to him. But even that, like I say, it makes no difference to me. It makes a difference to you. That's why I do my study. I'm not telling you I'm infallible. I'm not telling you to obey me blindly like the Pope does. I'm sharing my study with you. And like I say, you're well within your rights to criticise it. And I appreciate that you took the time to watch those videos, even though you didn't like them. But I'm going to continue to make more because I study for myself. I want to understand that stuff. But like I say, you need to really read it for yourself. Go into the detail, watch all the videos, find the videos which he doesn't serve you on the Vatican website. You know, the deleted stuff that you have to find on file sharing networks and stuff in other countries. You need a VPN and change your location in order to access, and then you need to translate them yourself. That's the stuff that's going to lead you to the truth behind the Roman papacy. And you will find out exactly as I told you. He does say the Quran is true, as is the Bible. He makes no distinction between them, which is in the Quran. He says Jesus is a human prophet, which removes his divinity, which is another thing they say in the Quran. He says Muslims worship the same God as Catholics, and that you are brothers in a universal worship. Are you okay with that? I wouldn't be. Knowing what I know about the Quran, I've studied that hard. So anyway, I'll leave it with you. I just wanted to let you know I bear no ill will towards you. I absolutely don't want to drive you out of the Catholic Church or change your mind on God. I just want you to recognise there's a good reason God tells us what his name is, and why Jesus says we should pray only to him and read only his scriptures. But you're smart enough to figure that out yourself, so I'll leave it there. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Milton. Have a good night. So just remember, the reason I do this study and share it with you, the reason I make these videos, I'm not trying to drive you out of the Catholic Church. I'm trying to drive you towards Christ. And they are definitely not the same thing. So anyway, that's all for now. God bless. Have a great evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.